Hello and welcome to next Selenium tutorial. So in the last video we have seen how can we implement or we can understand implicit wait. So today we are going to understand and how can we implement explicit wait in Selenium. So why we need Selenium, how can we implement the explicit wait in Selenium, right? So let's understand why we need explicit wait. So let's say in any web application what we are working with, so it has 10,000 locators. I mean kind of 10,000 elements. So out of 10,000, first or some of the 100 elements will load in the multiple various times. Rest everything will load at the constant time when you are loading web page. But those only that particular 100 locators will load in particular different times. Say all other elements apart from these 100 will load in within 5 seconds, but so if only these 100 elements will load in, one element will load in max timeout with 10 seconds, other element may load in 15 seconds, other element may load in 2 seconds, other element may load in 20 seconds. So we never know what is the exact time it will load. Based on your network speed it may vary. Only these particular 100 locators, it will take longer than the usual web elements takes. In that case, some of the elements are like Ajax call or some of the JavaScript elements. So these are the some of the web elements that we can consider that it may take longer than usual web elements that loads in your web application, right? So in that case, what will happen? Now, what are the script you will write in Java using Eclipse? So those scripts will not sync with your browser because that web elements are not loading in the usual time. So in that case, what will happen? We will get synchronization issue. So what we have to do? We have to explicitly we have to make some wait, and then we have to proceed with our automation or test case execution, right? So in that case, that we have to use explicit wait, right? So what is explicit wait? So explicit wait will be used when you are going for some of the elements are taking longer than usual time. In that case, what we can do? We can give wait time for that particular web element. Only one web element we can give specific timeout to wait for some this element to be clickable, or this element to be visible, or this element to be selectable. So these are the different conditions that Selenium provides. So using those conditions we can wait for the only that particular web element, not for all. So this explicit wait will be applicable only for the particular web element. It may be one element, or it may be two elements, or thousands of elements also. It's how we are going to implement in our framework, right? So that's how it is going to explicit wait. So we can implement this explicit wait for a one element or particular web element or multiple web elements also. We can make reusable methods and we can reuse it for all the web elements, right? And this explicit wait is dynamic. So why it is dynamic wait? So in explicit wait, when we are using, we are giving some constant wait like 10 seconds or 20 seconds wait. But what happens internally, right? So this Selenium WebDriver will continuously fold to your DOM every 500 milliseconds. Say for example, if you are giving 10 seconds of max timeout, then Selenium WebDriver, what will happen? Every 500 milliseconds means 20 times it will fold. So the moment it finds the web element what you are expecting on your DOM, so this will come out of that wait and then it will start proceeding user interactions. So if say for example you have given max timeout as 10 seconds, then it finds the 3 seconds, right? So what will happen to the remaining 7 seconds? I mean it will be elapsed, right? It will be ignored. So only the 3 seconds only it will take, and then it will proceed with the other web elements. What will happen if still it could not find in 10 seconds means it will throw your timeout exception. This occurs because of no such element exception in the your script, right? So these are the different things that we have to understand, right? So let's see how to implement. So in Selenium we have separate class called WebdriverWait. Using this class only we have to implement our WebdriverWait, right? So it's not explicit wait that we can directly use like implicitly wait. So here we have different class called WebdriverWait, and then we can give the seconds using the driver, right? So this is how we are going to implement using our syntaxes, right? Let's understand using our facebook.com, right? This is the facebook.com. Using this we can implement it, right? Let's understand and implement it, right? So this is already I have implemented this class. So in the last tutorial we have seen this implicit wait using different times, how long does it take and everything. So this time let us take how we can implement implicit wait, right? So this is how we have implemented, like, so WebDriver wait, we have to use this class, and using this we have to pass that driver, which driver you want to wait. So here we have to give what is the max timeout that we have to give. It is your wish, based on your web application. You can give either it can be 10 seconds or 20 seconds, 30 seconds. It may be anything, right? But this should be in seconds. We cannot give multiple things like it's a timeout in seconds. It will take only the seconds. It will not take your nanoseconds, microseconds, or minutes. It will not take. We have to give in the seconds only, right? So this is the first line that we have to make. That is WebDriver wait and new WebDriver wait driver, right? So the next line will be using this reference id we have to use the until method, right? So in that we have to give expected condition. So here we can see two things. One is expected condition using interface, and expected conditions class. So here we have to use expected conditions, and using this we can use anything like uh, it is not only that it supports only one particular condition. We can let's see. So it has multiple conditions. So in such case, right, it can be, you can see, right, you can use for alert is present, or attribute contains multiple things, element selection state to be, what is that element to be clickable. So these are the different things. You can use it for frames, or visibility of elements, or invisibility of elements. So these are the different conditions that we can use. There are n number of conditions. For each and every condition we can use the conditions from expected conditions class that Selenium provides, right? So this is the one flexibility that that WebdriverWait will provide. Based on our condition we can give anything, right? So this is the one thing that we have to understand. So visibility of element, I am using visibility of element located where I'm going to take this XPath with this first name for Facebook, right? And then I'm going to enter my name in the first name, right? So this is the thing, like how what I'm going to do, right? First I'm launching the facebook.com and click on create new account. Once the moment it opened, right? So what I'm trying to do is, in the first name box I'm going to trying to enter my name. Let's run this. So this is the functionality I'm going to do. So the I'm not going to wait for this particular button to click, but I'm going to have some conditions with WebdriverWait with this first name input text box, right? So that is what I'm going to do with that first name I entering into this text box only. I'm going to have this WebdriverWait, right? So what I'm trying to do over here, right? So I have given the time unit also. This will give you with uh, milliseconds, and we are going to do between the two different web elements, how long does it take, and finally in finally black, what is the final time it took. So using this, right, what we can exactly calculate how long did it take actually to verify the web element. So initially what I'm going to do, I'm going to give the exact path, right? It's all valid cases, so it has to enter the values, right? Let us understand. Let's run and see what will happen. So it has to pass the test case. It should not fail now. Click on the new button and it is on, right? So you can clearly see here the time. Here it did not wait for anything. It is not waiting for anything, right? So the moment it finds, it will like immediately it will move to next element, because there is no uh, like what to say weight or something incorrect in this we have found here, right? So now what will do, I'm going to give one invalid path, sorry, x path. So this one, right, what I'm going to do, without WebdriverWait I'm going to give for this, right? So let's comment this part. and then let us try giving that value. So what I'm going to do, driver dot find element by this this is wrong x path, right? Dot send keys, I'm going to enter my name. So let's comment this as well. So initially what we have done, so without WebdriverWait we have given, right? Sorry, initially we have given with WebdriverWait. Now with without WebdriverWait, let us give what will happen. So this is also valid scenario. Now it has to pass. We should not get any exception over here. It has to click the new account, and we got exception. No such element exception. Why we are getting this? Because the moment it clicked on this create new account, it is immediately trying to find this element and trying to type it. So what will happen, it to load this page itself, it took little time, some microseconds or nanoseconds it took. But what this script is doing, it is not even waiting for that element to be appear. So that's why we are getting no such element exception, right? So this is the scenario where how can we handle this situation, right? So that is the case over here. Now what we will do, let us try with this WebdriverWait itself, right? So what we will do, so this is going to be like a valid scenario with 20 seconds wait time. What will happen, it will wait until your that second pop-up will appear, right? So let's wait for some more moment to see whether it is entering the text or not. So basically we should not use your the dot sleep over here. Just for the demo purpose, I'm just using the dot sleep. Just maximize and click on create a new account button, right? And it has to enter my name, Nandis. I think we have given wrong path. Yeah, we have given wrong path here because I didn't remove this one from that. So let's understand from here what happens. So it will wait for 20 seconds and then it will throw a timeout exception, right? So over here you can clearly see the exception what we have discussed, right? It is timeout exception, right? And it is because of no such element exception. So because of it could not find your element, so it is throwing timeout exception with 20 seconds what we have given. So over here you can clearly calculate so how long does it take, wait for it. You can clearly see over here, right? So it took exactly 20 seconds to move forward, then it throwing the timeout exception, right? So that's what it is going to take over here from the explicit wait, right? So what will happen, right? It will wait the until the time you have given, right? Let's wait for just 5 seconds and then we'll try what will happen. So now it has to wait only for 5 seconds. Okay, something was went wrong. Okay, my internet connection was lost, so that's why it is throwing that in interrupted exception. So my dongle has gone out of battery, so that's why I'm getting that exception, right? Just let's wait for just 2 more seconds, it will come off. So here, right, so let's understand this particular statements. So this is the class, right? So and it has to wait, we have to give the driver, so this driver has to wait for this many seconds and then it will throw timeout exception due to no such element exception, right? So that is the case that we have seen over here. So what is this exactly, these statement, let's understand this, right? So this is the until method that it took, so this is the expected condition it took. So what will happen, this until will evaluate true or false, right? So sometimes it may return null also, sometimes it will return false, sometimes it returns true. If it is found true, then it will return web element. Otherwise what will happen, it will throw error exception, that is timeout exception or no such element exception. So these are the exceptions that we can clearly see that. So the function returns neither null or false when it appears, repeatedly applies this instance's input value to the given function until one of the following occurs. If it occurs false or null, or function throws unignored exception, or timeout expires, current thread is interrupted. So in that case only this condition will be like move forward, right? So this will evaluate to either true or false. If it return false, means the element what you are looking for is not found. If it is evaluates to true, then it is found, right? In case if it is not found, it will throw timeout exception, right? If it is found, it will move forward, right? And this will return you the web element. So what is the web element you are looking for? The same web element it returns. So you don't have to catch in over here, you can directly give here dot, you can do any operation over here, right? So here what we have to understand is two things. One is like the syntax, what how it is, and the second thing is how it evaluates. So it evaluates to boolean condition, right? And third thing is it returns the web element, whatever you are evaluating, that element it returns if it is the boolean condition is true, otherwise it will throw exception. So these are the different conditions that we have to understand, right? So let's try running this with 5 seconds. Earlier we have seen with 20 seconds, and now it has to throw timeout exception within 5 seconds. Let's try running now. So I'm trying to find which is not present in this page, and it thrown the exception. So earlier it was like 20 seconds gap, you can see over here before throwing the timeout exception. Now we have given only 5 seconds. Let's see how long does exactly the Selenium has waiting for. You can see over here 38 to 43 seconds. So it's exactly 5 seconds it was waiting for. And then it was throwing your timeout exception, right? So this is how you can understand your explicitly wait. So how we can make this explicitly wait, right? So mostly in the application, only in the few cases it will appear only the five elements, or if we have lakhs of elements, then in that case we can see clearly like thousands of below 1,000 elements. So in that case you can make any reusable method, and we can reuse of this WebDriver wait or explicitly wait. So moreover, why we are getting this exception from our script, right? So implicitly wait will happen in remotely, but explicit wait will work in your local script itself, right? So it will come to your method every time, and will get back to your WebDriver, and then it will align back and forth like that. It will work. So in that case, how we can understand this is, let's make a small drawing here. So how clearly we can see here, right? So sorry guys, take it. So this is your local script in Eclipse, and this is a webdriver.exe files, and this is the actual browsers. So what will happen here, you have all the scripts over here. This is in Eclipse, and this is your .exe files. .exe file means this is going to be your Chrome driver, or Gecko driver, or IE driver files, and this is the actual browsers. So implicit wait, what will happen, right? So here implicit wait will be there. So what will happen once the moment you define your implicitly wait, so all the handling will happen over here itself. Here it will communicate here, and back and forth like this it will come. But in case of explicit wait, what will happen, here you have given your explicitly wait, right? WebDriver wait, uh, WebDriver wait you have given here. we have given like this, right? What will happen? So this is the condition happens here. So the every 500 milliseconds, what will happen? From here itself it will throw, it will actually fold to your WebDriver. From here it will go here, right? Again it will come back and come back over here. Every 500 milliseconds it will come if it is not found. So over here it will evaluate, actually exactly it will evaluate this condition. So what will happen? The moment it polls every 500 milliseconds, so this browser, what will happen? This will uh, return no such element exception to your Chrome driver.exe files. So this Chrome driver.exe files will return the same, and your WebDriver in your local script will handle this using this condition. So what will happen, right, in this case? So this WebDriver script, whatever we have written over here until condition, this condition will ignore initially no such element exception until the complete blocking time. So the moment it expires, then only this throws no such element exception with timeout, right? So this is the clear understanding that we should have. So this is happening, right? This WebDriver wait will happen from your local script itself, right? So that's why it is not preferred to use your explicit wait for all the elements, right? So it takes a little quite a time to call from your Eclipse to your .exe files and then your actual browser and come back to your Eclipse. So this is where, like, how your explicit wait will work, right? So hope this video was helpful to understand your explicit wait, and you clarified a lot of doubts from this video. Still, if you have any doubts and you need any more clarification, please leave it in the comments section. I will reply to your comments. All right. So that's all from this video, guys. If you love watching my video, please like my video, and do me a favor, guys. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel and support me. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you.